What's up everyone, OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about why Astral Chain from Platinum Games is Nintendo's most important new IP since the Pokemon days back in the early 90s or mid 90s, I should say, but they were kind of looking at the idea and formulating, then released Pokemon in the mid 90s. This game, Astral Chain, is a brand new action RPG or action game. I'm not really sure if it's going to be action RPG-ish. We need to see the actual mechanics of the game in terms of intrinsic leveling and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be some RPG elements in there. But for right now, we do know that it's more of like an action type of game. So this is a very important game, and I'm going to break down a few different reasons why I think this is their most important new IP since Pokemon. So this is the first Platinum Games new IP Nintendo exclusive launched on a healthy system. Platinum Games has done some great things for Nintendo systems over the years, but this is the first time that we've gotten an exclusive from Platinum Games. Heck, even dating back to their days as Clover, it was launched, like, let's say Beautiful Joe or something like that was launched on like the GameCube, right? It was launched on a system that wasn't very healthy. We weren't seeing big sales from them. And even if you fast forward to stuff like Wonderful 101, obviously Wii U was not healthy. So to see Platinum Games finally get their shot at an exclusive on a Nintendo platform on a healthy system, this is very important. This is a very important thing, and this game definitely needs to do well. And I know that Nintendo is going to be looking at this game and saying, okay, we've set up everything for you guys, right? We have the budget that's set for you guys. The game is looking beautiful. We have this Nintendo Switch, which is doing extremely well. There's no excuses. And even if you want to go with stuff that wasn't a new IP, like Bayonetta 2, right? That was launched on the Wii U. Not a healthy system either, just like Wonderful 101. Even when Bayonetta 2 came out, it still wasn't doing good because Wonderful 101 is 2013, and then Bayonetta 2 was 2014. Sales weren't even that much better from when Wonderful 101 came out to when Bayonetta 2 came out. So this is the first time that they've had a very healthy system for them to launch and have their atmosphere. I'm hoping that we see this game really take off because of how the Switch is doing and because of all the big games that are coming. There's going to be enough people that go out there and say, okay, here we go, we've got this now in Astral Chain. I'm going to try this game out. Now, another thing that I want to bring up is that this is a higher budget game that seemingly has everything gamers want in it, right? When you look at something like Pokemon, back then when the game first launched, you didn't originally see like, okay, this looks kind of, it's on the Game Boy, is this going to be good? But I mean, the show helped prop it up in addition to word of mouth. But if you look at today's game, modern gamers, and what people want in games, I'm looking at that trailer and I'm thinking, has there been a better trailer for a third-party or Nintendo-owned IP, third-party Nintendo-collaborated IP ever? Has there ever been anything that you've seen out of all of the games that Nintendo's collaborated with? We've seen Bayonetta, Wonderful 101, we've seen Fatal Frame. There's various different collaborations that they've had, even if you look at some of their outside studios that they've purchased. So, for example, there's Fire Emblem, right? Intelligent Systems, there's Xenoblade, there's Monolith Soft. Nintendo has done so many different things. But as I watched that trailer for Astral Chain over and over, I was like, yo, this is probably the best trailer that I've seen. It pretty much shows you so many cool things in that trailer with some of the open-ended areas. You can easily see that there's going to be a lot of nice like tag team combo combat in there. I mean, they pretty much detailed exactly what you can expect in this game. Crazy action sequences, boss battles, an interesting story. Everything that you could imagine that you would want in a game is right in there. It seems like you can make up your mind, snap your fingers, and yes, I'm going to buy this game just by looking at that trailer. Now, of course, you have to wait and see for the reviews and what people are saying because it could control horribly, but guessing based on who is making the game, the pedigree of the developers that are behind it, it's Platinum, so you know it's going to control and play well, and they're going to make sure that everything's there. So from that trailer, it pretty much showed me that, yo, this is like 100% buy. It literally has everything that you would want in a game, and that's very important when it comes to showing off a new IP. First impressions are very important. Like, you have to make sure when you first show off this game that it's going to have like the goods for gamers out there, and that's exactly what that trailer did. And it's part of the reason why it's one of their most important ones, just because of how good that trailer looked. People are expecting very big things now, you know, so this game definitely has to deliver on that front. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is other Japanese developers will be watching the sales of this game very closely to see if Switch owners support an exclusive, higher budgeted game, and if they buy it, I mean, and whether they should invest in something like that as well. Because while we do have some ports coming over, there's been some nice stuff. We have Final Fantasy games. We also have other titles that have been coming out that are being ported over. There isn't a lot of exclusive Nintendo Switch third-party IP where developers say, okay, we're going to simply target this system and make an exclusive for it. There's not a lot of that out there, and understandably so. That's expensive to do so without having the other systems involved. But if this game Astral Chain does really well, I think you're going to see more developers hop in on that. And what I would mean by really well, as in like 2 million to 3 million units plus, not barely scratching 1 million, because this game has the universal appeal. It's not like an Octopath Traveler with an art style that's going to turn away some people, or a long RPG that also turns away some people, but this has everything that you would see in a lot of the games that like are on PS4 or Xbox One in terms of action wise and the look and the graphics. This is a very in-depth game, and developers are going to be looking at this game and seeing if Switch owners support it. So that's going to be very important. That's why this is one of the most important ones since Pokemon, because Pokemon essentially saved like the Game Boy and extended the life so many more years than it would have had. And of course, Astral Chain is not in the same situation since the Switch is healthy, but when it comes to new IPs, when it comes to what Nintendo's done with those IPs and how important they've been, because of the failure of the Wii U, we haven't really seen a really important new IP for Nintendo in such a long time. And because of the unhealthy sales of the GameCube, Pikmin, and some of the new IPs that came from Nintendo in that era, and I would guess the only new IP that would be as important, or since Nintendo's have since Pokemon, would be like Wii Sports, right, or like Wii Fit. It'd be one of those type of games. And obviously the Wii era is a little bit of a different like anomaly. It's not necessarily the same as what we've seen with all Nintendo's core systems. For those who are saying, well, what about Wii Sports and all that? Yes, those were extremely important, but Nintendo has already shifted away from that style, so it's not what is in line with what Nintendo used to do, which is like the NES, the Super Nintendo, the GameCube, N64. The Wii is something almost completely different, and even if you look at Nintendo's portable systems as well, completely different from what Nintendo's done from there. So I'm not necessarily counting those when it comes to it. I also want to note that in the modern era, definitely Splatoon was a really huge and important new IP. The only problem was that its success was a little bit neutered on the Wii U, and then it garnered a huge amount of support on the Nintendo Switch, despite even having the install base lower than what it was when it launched on the Wii U. So, I mean, I can definitely see how Splatoon was easily one of the most important new IPs that Nintendo's done. The only issue is that its impact was just neutered a little bit on the Wii U, and then when it became not really a new IP anymore because it was a sequel, that's where it showed really huge and massive success. But this is completely different just because of the situation that we're seeing with Astral Chain, and it's starting out on a healthy system and not a system that was a failure like the Wii U and then ended up getting success in its second iteration. But definitely, guys, I can definitely see how Splatoon 2 is one of those huge IPs that also was very important to Nintendo and easily could be just as important or more important for those who are saying that Splatoon 2 is one of those games, or is that game that's just as important or more, considering the sales. Obviously, Splatoon 2 has done amazing. I'm just kind of looking at it in a little bit of a different light, considering how Splatoon 1 did and how it was on the Wii U compared to what's going on with Astral Chain and it launching on a system that's just really hot right now. So very important. Developers are going to be looking at this game and the sales and seeing how it does. So that's also another huge factor as well. Now also, if this does do well, we'll definitely be getting a lot more high quality games from Platinum Games. I mean, I think that they're going to be supporting Nintendo either way, because Nintendo is going to be employing them, because look at the Wii U, right? Wonderful 101, Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2, you know, those games, they did okay. Bayonetta 2 did good, and then also the re-release on the Switch. But I mean, if we get like a true hit, I think that that's really going to blossom into more money, Nintendo pumping more money and more time and saying, okay, you can make another really big game like this, you know? So that's something that's going to be very important as well. And also, part of me wants to see the Nintendo Switch have a game, because like Nier, right? Nier came out on the PlayStation 4, it did really well. Hideki Kamiya said that, hey, you know what? This game kind of saved us a little bit because we weren't really making anything off of what we've been doing beforehand. So thank you. So it kind of says to me like, okay, well, the PlayStation 4 owners went out there and supported Nier. Like, the Switch owners need to show up and not only support this game as much as the PlayStation 4 owners supported Nier, but even more, considering that this is a brand new IP that they're bringing that pretty much has everything that people would want. People have been begging, have been wanting, have been complaining about new IPs for Nintendo, that they're showing us the same stuff for years, right? Well, we've got one here. So I think that the better that this game does, the higher quality and more stuff we're going to get from Platinum Games. And I think that more is on the horizon as well, because gamers are just taking a really big liking to this. So it's very exciting, but at the same time, definitely need to show up and pick up the game so we can get more high quality and better support from Platinum Games. And this last point is a little bit more joking, more so than anything, but listen guys, it's futuristic anime police. I mean, what more could you ask for in a new IP, in a game coming to Nintendo? The art style, you can look at the texture, the background, the detail, the gameplay that they've showed. This is the quintessential type of game. If I was going to make a game, you know, this would be the style. This would be what I would be thinking. If I was going to make like an action game, right? This is exactly what I would be thinking. Slick anime aesthetic art style, somewhat near future or futuristic, open-ended areas, cool looking combat to where you can team up with something else, whether it's artificial or whether it's a human character, team up, do crazy combos, air combos, lift people up. That is the type of game, and that's what I love about Platinum Games, and that's what I love about this game a little bit more in terms of just aesthetics than Bayonetta, for example, because you have that team up aspect of that within the single player type of campaign. Nintendo also has detailed that this game does have 2-player co-op, so that's pretty cool as well. But even outside of that, you team up with your Legion robot thingy and fight. To me, that is so cool. Fighting by yourself is also awesome, but having the team up dual type of attacks and having the Astral Chain to wrap people around and take them down, which does show off that there's going to be some cool side quests and other things that you can do in the city. To me, that is just the perfect concept for a new game, and they've done it. And they put it out there, so that's awesome. That's really awesome to see. So what do you guys think about Astral Chain and its importance when it comes to Nintendo Switch? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps to spread the content of PlayerEssence across the internet, in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you for the next video. Peace.